And welcome back, everyone. We are live. Hopefully the audio isn't completely blown out. I'm trying to stay a little bit further away from the microphone. Hopefully things are good there. But we're going to do Speculation Station live tonight because, again, I don't feel like editing. I'm going to record some stuff later tonight. So anyway, this is pretty loosely put together, and we'll see what happens here. We do have a couple folks joining us early. We do have Background Balloon. Thank you so much. First, finally caught an impromptu live early. Appreciate you as always. We also have Happy Tom, who is a channel member. Thank you so much, Happy Tom. Intrigued by the title, so here I am. I enjoy that. Thank you so much. So, we've got a couple things to go over. There's a new Chase credit card floating around on US card forums, which is not always the best site, but they actually have a legit application. So I'm going to call that a source. It's not the best source. I'm not going to use this as a primary source ever, but US Card Forum found a credit card application. We're going to look at that credit card. It's a Disney card, so it's not like the greatest card ever, but we'll look at it. Bilt's close friends thing is already having leaks hitting Reddit, so who knows how close those friends actually are with friends like these. Who needs leakers? And we've got a bit on Airbnb. Background Balloon, love the new background, by the way. Thank you so much, sir. I may just start doing like tidbit news behind me. There's the credit card one. I don't know. With ChatGPT, the world is your oyster. All right, and we had the Disney credit card pop up. Okay, so it timed out. So we're going to use this site first because it does time out after a little while. So I had it up for a good like 15, 20 minutes. So let's jump into things here with a new Disney credit card. Now, Disney cards are not the best. They are not particularly compelling in any way, shape, or form. But new one, let's go through it. You can earn up to $600. $300 Disney gift card e-gift upon approval. So you're going to get the $300 from Disney right up front. And a $300 statement credit after you spend $1,000 on purchases in the first 3 months from opening the account. So 30% return in the form of a statement credit, whatever. This product is available to you if you have not had this card or not received a new card member bonus for this card in the past 24 months. Everyone who's going to sign up for this card initially is going to be eligible because this is a new card. I can tell you it's a new card. We'll get into it. But it's a new card. 10% in Disney Reward dollars on select categories. That's going to be Disney Reward dollars on purchases made directly at DisneyPlus.com, Hulu.com, or Plus.ESPN.com. So Disney streaming services, you're going to get 10% back in reward dollars. Earn 3% in Disney Reward dollars on card purchases at gas stations and most Disney US locations. With an asterisk. We'll look at the asterisk in just a minute. Earn 2% in Disney Reward dollars on card purchases at grocery stores and restaurants, and earn 1% on all other purchases. So 3x gas, 2x grocery and restaurant, 10x on Disney streaming. You can also earn 10% off select merchandise purchases at select locations at the Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World Resort and aboard Disney Cruise Line, plus character experience photo opportunities held in private locations at Disney parks. Okay, cool. Special vacation financing, you're going to get 0% promotional APR for 6 months on select Disney vacation packages from the date of purchase. After that, a variable APR of 19 to 28.5%. And then this will all come with a $149 annual fee. So we're going to scroll down. There's the application, terms and prices and terms. You have the certification. So I wanted to look at real quick just to see if I could find the terms about, well, we're not going to get them there. I want to get the offer details with this 3% at Disney locations. So let's go to offer details. Offer details show a $200 Disney e-credit. Okay. $300 statement credit, earning Disney reward dollars. We'll earn 4%. Okay. Little bit of ton of legalese. All right. So it's in there. But it's going to break down everything that will and won't give you 3% and the 10% back. So you'll get 10% off select merchandise purchases at select locations in Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It's going to get highlighted in the terms and aboard cruise line. So that's cool. You're not going to earn Disney Reward dollars with those purchases, but you are going to get Disney Reward dollars on your streaming, Disney streaming, and everyday purchases. So that's cool. I don't know the exact 3% at most U.S. Disney U.S. locations. I don't know if that's Disney stores or if they're just talking about Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So we're going to stop sharing this one and close it up. But if you are a huge Disney person, it could be useful. Background balloon, basically only worth it if you're already planning a trip to Disneyland or World. Yeah, exactly. The Disney cards are really only great if you are looking to plan that vacation and giving you that 6 months 0% APR, whatever. Disney reward dollars. I think a Disney reward dollar is worth $1. I don't know, but it is not a particularly compelling card. I know that they're not particularly compelling cards, but they have a new one coming out. So, before I do like news on it, I found this and hey, Chase is still putting out credit cards. So that's fair. Is your sister getting this card? Maybe. I also found out my brother has a Disney card. I'm very curious what's going on in my family, why everyone needs a Disney card. I will not be getting one because I don't need one. And I don't want one. So there you go. $149 annual fee. Doesn't look like there's any ongoing credits to kind of offset things. So the 0% interest for your 6 months of payments really is the big draw there. So we'll see what happens. But Keith, thank you so much for that and for being a channel member. And now if you watch on iOS, you can join channel memberships as well. That is a new update I got from the YouTube Creator Studio. So cool. Super useful there. Now, that's sort of news, sort of rumor, because the source of it is US card forms. So I usually they seem, if they have it, it's kind of like Gurman, but I don't want to say that's official, but that is an application page. You could put in your information if you so chose. I'm not going to, so we're not going to test that theory today. But yeah, $149. Let's see what happens. Not the greatest card, but I always thought that there was a need for another Disney card because the $49 card is super not compelling, and the $0 card is super not compelling, and they only made this one mostly not compelling. So, bit of a whiff. But hey, I like that Chase is making new cards. They should keep updating the Sapphire Preferred and the Freedoms so that lineup is set. But we'll see. Anyway, let's jump into our next thing. And this is an actual bit of speculation. This speculation is actually coming from upgraded points. So let's go through it and see what we can do. But for years, travelers have wondered if Airbnb would roll out a loyalty or rewards program. Company has largely stayed reluctant. Signs suggest that Airbnb could be moving closer to launching some kind of membership offering, especially as the platform deepens its push into hotels. While it's nothing special, the hints point to a program that may reward frequent guests in ways that align with Airbnb's unique brand, rather than copying traditional hotel loyalty schemes. This is what they know so far. Airbnb is currently evaluating loyalty programs. A source close to the company told Skift, and insiders say development is underway. Details of this potential program were first reported by Skift, highlighting early signs that something could be in the works. So I'm going to put the upgraded points article in the description as always, and they've got the Skift article as well. I'll just copy through that as well. Airbnb CEOs described the loyalty program or membership program as very compelling for the company, noting a competitive disadvantage versus traditional hotels and online travel agencies. Unlike traditional points programs, Airbnb's potential program is expected to focus on perks rather than earning points. The signs point to an Airbnb loyalty or membership program offering travelers benefits such as discounts, waived fees, early check-in, or exclusive access to select homes, as opposed to here's 100,000 points, go wild. The potential program would also help Airbnb compete with hotel loyalty programs like Marriott Bonvoy Outdoors and advantage Airbnb's ownership of Hotel Tonight, the app that specializes in last-minute hotel bookings. Perks or discounts through Hotel Tonight could lure hotel travelers to book on Airbnb, giving them a taste of the platform while also showcasing its vacation rentals. Hotel Tonight gives Airbnb a way to offer hotel stays without building a traditional hotel loyalty brand, and a membership program could use the app to deliver instant benefits like discounts and exclusive offers. Their CEO has repeatedly downplayed traditional hotel points programs, suggesting we may see a membership style setup more like Amazon Prime or My Citizen M Plus, rather than a standard loyalty program. No exact timeline on things, but they said they absolutely think you should see something from us in the future, not eminently, but in the future. That statement suggests a loyalty or membership style program is likely on the horizon, even if details and timing remain uncertain. So this makes 100% sense. I can absolutely see this. I think we're probably going to see membership perks more than loyalty points and booking with points. I think one of the things is it would be really hard. Like the value of Airbnb points would be ridiculously hard to figure out. Right. I went back and watched pieces of Ben Hedges' one of his most recent videos where he's talking about how much money he made on his first year on Airbnb. He has an Airbnb property in the Mohawk Mountains near I don't remember the exact town, but he has a property in the Mohawks in the Hudson Valley in New York. Just looking at the video at his freeze frame that I have, he made $60,000 in revenue. He had $33,000 in expenses and $26,000 in profit. I'll put the link to the video in the description as always, just to cite it. So he made $26,000 in profit. A question with these things, like, is he going to be would he be forced to accept points as payment? I know he's somebody well in the points and miles game, but is this something that would be appealing to Airbnb hosts to accept points as payment in lieu of whatever they would make? Like, yes, they would make whatever they make in cash, but like part of the allure of points for points and miles enthusiasts is like getting as much value for as little points as possible. And I don't know that you necessarily want to be able to book like Ben Hedges' property for 3,200 points a night and then not make a profit off of that. Right. So we'll have to see now, not that I'm saying like, yeah, you have to see Ben make a profit. Anyway, doesn't matter, right? Ben's not the only Airbnb investor there is. There are plenty of people who took up Airbnb investing as a side project. There are plenty of people who take up real estate investing as a side project. There are plenty of people who have been making big bets with Airbnb. Like, would a loyalty program be beneficial to them? I don't know. So yeah, we'll keep going with that in just a second, but we do have a couple comments here. Background balloon. I hope Chase does update the CSP soon, hopefully for the better, not Chase be Chase. We'll see. I want to keep my CSP open, but it basically sees no use right now. Annual fee for me is set to hit this month. Well, you'll probably keep it regardless for at least the next year if the annual fee is hitting this month, because it's going to be $95, so that's fine. I don't think a change in the annual fee will be too crazy. I would expect something like $150, if that. And we'll just see more benefits or credits thrown in. I don't think they're going to be as bad with the coupon book with the Sapphire Preferred, but I do think you're going to see like at least a monthly statement credit somewhere. And I really don't think that's the way that Chase should approach things. But that's just me. Hey, Ron. Ron's joined us. What's going on, Matt? Not much. Just doing an impromptu speculation station because I don't feel like editing. And yeah, we'll go from there. John R joining us. Yo, check out John R's channel. Always good stuff there. His dives into cashback, his how he uses his travel setup for him. Always fun watching John's videos, checking out John's live. We'll leave it there, but John's good stuff. John's got good people. So thanks, John, and thank you for being a channel member. Sleepy Rod, also a channel member. Thank you. There's something I thought I'd never hear. I was watching a Ben Hedges video. I literally just pulled this back up because of the Airbnb thing. I honestly have kind of stopped watching his stuff. Not that it's too beginner or anything like that. It's just he does news, I do news. We all do the same news. So like, if I already did a news video, why am I going to go watch another news video? At least I'll watch RJ, because RJ will interject his RJ Financial interject his opinions in as well. Ben just kind of sticks to the news, which is fine, but like, I want a little extra something. Shabby Old Cloaks joining us. Sorry. I think they're testing out the infatuation credit, but to have a minimum spend is annoying. Yeah, I do find the minimum spend a little bit annoying, but at least going to an infatuation credit would be better, because like Chase owns everything there, would be better than whatever the hell is going on with the open table Visa Reserve nonsense. So if they're doing an infatuation credit, testing it on the CSP and moving it over the CSR at like $300, great. Broken up semi-annually, that's stupid. Just do it all at once. Just however you want to do that credit should just be however. I got problems with Chase's credits. Appreciate the kind words, Matt. Absolutely, John. Everybody should check out John's channel if they haven't already. Anyway, so going back to this, I think a membership perks type program where it's a subscription, sort of a subscription, but like you get exclusive discounts, you get your membership will include, more perks at sites will be better. Even if most of the perks for at least the first year or two are mainly through Hotels Tonight and like building up a pool. So you'll make the subscription fee, right? You charge let's say $150 a year, because My Citizen M Plus was 120. It's going up to 170 under Marriott's stewardship. Say Airbnb charged $150 a year for exclusive deals at Hotel Tonight, right? Where you're already like making a good amount, but you can take that deal and make it even better. When you get to the hotel's responsible for giving you like welcome amenities and stuff like that. I think that could be interesting. I think, discounts on food, discounts on, concierge service, stuff like that. So like start it out through Hotel Tonight and then start phasing in various membership perks and then you start through Airbnb with, the rental company, and Airbnb knows like everybody in their system. So go through the properties that are through property management companies and have the property management companies have amenities available for those who are members of the Airbnb membership, and go down from there. So that the folks who are like making a couple extra bucks here and there for like a room or a floor of their house or something, the original part, or like the origin of Airbnb, those properties would be like the last to see your membership reflected. So this could be something that could work. I think starting out with Hotel Tonight and like building up the pool of reserves to use to subsidize with the property management companies, then the property management individuals and the real estate individuals and the folks who just built like a cabin in the woods to have an Airbnb, to turn it into an Airbnb. Like those are one of the last folks who are going to get forced into doing these amenities or discounts or whatever. And as long as they like clearly communicate that, I wouldn't have a problem with that approach. But if they do like, oh yeah, and if you join our membership, it's 10% off everything, and the folks who built these houses as Airbnb properties aren't keyed in on that, that wouldn't be cool. So I think a membership program would make a lot of sense for Airbnb. I don't know how like Airbnb points, like booking through points with Airbnb would make any sense. Because, on the business side of things, like Marriott would accept your points, Hyatt accepts your points, but like that still gets paid out to the hotel owners and operators. I don't know that the payout would be as good with Airbnb points as opposed to Marriott and Hyatt and Hilton and etc. So yeah, I don't know how that would work. Double joining us. Hey Matt. Hey everyone. Happy Tom. Can you clue me in on Hotel Tonight? So Hotel Tonight was a site that was started as sort of a you can book a boutique hotel that still has inventory. That still has inventory super cheap, right? They bill it as incredible last minute hotel deals. So let's just go over to Hotel Tonight, and we are going to pick Newport, Rhode Island, and we want to pick tonight. You'll earn credit for 10% on every Hotel Tonight booking to use on Airbnb. Okay, so you're already seeing integration there. So let's share this. Filmo says $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Filmo. 2bits meetup at the Ben Hazard's house. Maybe. Depends on who's putting down for it, but possibly. I think it can hold up to like 8. I don't remember. Share screen. So here we go. Incredible deal. Incredible last minute hotel deals. Save time and money by booking tonight and beyond. So if I wanted to go to Newport, Rhode Island, and I was booking for tonight, all right, you've got the Mill Street Inn, normally $541 a night. They're marking it down to $488 just to sell out their inventory. That's considered hip. Basic, the Cleveland House, $429 per night. If I were to pull up the Cleveland House in Newport, live research right now. So let's say, yeah, if I wanted to book it tonight, the Cleveland House is going for $529 a night for tonight. If I wanted to do next Saturday, it's booking for $589. So they're pushing it for $429. You're going to make a saving. You're going to be saving about $100 through Hotel Tonight. Holiday Inn Express Middletown, $519 a night. It's a Holiday Inn Express for $519. I will bypass that. Thank you very much. But it does kind of give you a sense that you're getting something of a deal. And if you did actually check it like against the hotel itself, now you'd be booking through Hotel Tonight through if you'd be booking this Holiday Inn, you're booking through Hotel Tonight, that's not going to qualify you for IHG rewards. So that wouldn't be great. But you are doing a last minute booking. It is near the beach, mansions, waterfront that make Newport famous, whatever. You've got the Melville House. The Seacrest Beach Resort couldn't sell at $299 a night, so they're selling it at $234. Holiday Inn Express at Fall River, north by IHG, typically $235 a night. Hotel Tonight will get you in there tonight for $189. So they are pitching it as a sale. How much of a sale really depends. The Hilton Mystic at $350. No, thank you. So they're going well beyond Newport because you've got stuff closer near. Well, that's Newport proper. Fall River is in Massachusetts, Falmouth, Millborough, Attleboro, well, north of Attleboro, and then down here in Mystic and Storrington, that's Connecticut. So you do have to take that into account. Mansfield, Foxborough. All right, whatever. So that's just a little bit on Hotel Tonight. So Hotel Tonight was bought by Airbnb, and you do get Airbnb credit for booking through Hotel Tonight, and you can save like 10% on your next Airbnb booking. So like there's already that sort of integration So a membership that you buy with Airbnb because you want to make like your Airbnb trips that much more elevated, or you want to save some money on Airbnbs or whatever. If they put out a membership, a loyalty membership type subscription, they have Hotel Tonight integrated, so you can make that work out for you. Happy Tom drops a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Backward Balloon. I make a video about me not making a video. Ooh. And debut videoception. Yes. So I think a loyalty program for Airbnb makes a lot of sense. You are seeing like Rove has started a loyalty, started up, and it started up with a loyalty program. Vrbo is part of Expedia, and you've got the Expedia One Key program, which I don't know how much you are or aren't saving with One Key, because like One Key doesn't make any sense. A One Key Blue member, which is no status, can save as much or more than One Key's top status as Dugra showed last year. He asked me to help with that. He asked many other folks, some folks who are in this live right now. He asked some of them to help out with it. And like he did a live where he broke down like one key blue versus one key gold. There's not, it's a distinction without a difference, because you're potentially saving more with blue depending on like where you were searching from. So that's a bit of a mess for one key, and that's part of why Dugraz is giving up his one key card, or giving up his wife's one key card. They thought it would work out. Turns out it really hasn't. So there you go. And that would be part of the problem that that Airbnb will have to figure out as time goes on. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I do think that if they take their time with it, they communicate it properly, they launch it right, it should work. How much will it work? I don't know. How likely am I to jump into a Airbnb membership? I don't know. It'd have to be really worth it. Like if you pay $150, right, and you do Airbnbs, like if you're somebody who spends thousands on Airbnbs because you don't want to be bothered with hotels, or you book Hotel Tonight relatively frequently, and you want some additional savings, that could work. And if you pay like $150 membership fee, but over the course of the year, based on your spending, you save, $2,000, that's more than worth it. I'm just throwing out like speculative bullshit numbers here. We are 26 minutes in. I'm gonna say whatever the fudge I want. So they could do pretty well. It could be interesting. And as Happy Tom says, Airbnb is probably still the biggest player in this area. They could do interesting things. Yeah. And if I remember correctly, Happy, you're in Oregon. So if Airbnb is a big player in Oregon and they're able to do this right and do like the savings just right and like welcome amenities that are really good and like access to some other like if you did an Airbnb in Oregon and you wanted, and there's like some sort of specialty, okay, yes, PDX. Okay. So like if the farms that grow hops, like the massive estates that grow hops in Oregon, do something special around the harvest time where like you smell all the hops, right? And you're like into beer. If they do like tours of the hop fields as part of your Airbnb experience, that could work. If they threw in something like that, or if you're going down the coast, do something do like an experience, or if there's experiences along the Oregon coast, you've got options there, whether it's or like Portland, or brewery tours throughout. Portland's got some big breweries. Salem's got some big breweries. Everything between Portland and Salem has some big breweries. Also, when I think of Oregon, I just think of everything out east that is like empty. But Portland, Salem, there's one more city in Oregon that I'm forgetting, but there's a ton of breweries in Oregon. There's a ton of beer related things that can be done in Oregon. The Oregon coast is really, really pretty. Like if Airbnb can do like really cool stuff in Oregon and really cool stuff in Northern California, really cool stuff in Washington, really cool stuff wherever they are, because Airbnbs are pretty much everywhere. One sec. All right. So yeah, Airbnbs are pretty much everywhere. Sorry for that on this live. There's plenty they could do. Like it could be an interesting program, right? I do think going membership versus trying to do loyalty and putting in membership tiers on loyalty tiers. Maybe they do something like that. They could also just do different subscriptions, right? You could have a basic membership at $150. You could do even more exclusive membership at like $400 a year. There's options, right? So It's going to be a you get what you pay for type situation either way. I do think, though, that if they're going to go any certain way, that they avoid that Airbnb itself. I don't think Airbnb would work with points. I don't know if it could work. Now, if they can make it work and they have like some secret sauce, that could be something. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it does make me look like I'm trying to cast a spell. It is what it is. One sec. More casting. Great content. I know. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. So Airbnb should be able to work out pretty well. I think there's stuff they could do. There's moves they can make, but they'd be going after like Expedia and One Key versus versus going after Marriott and Hyatt and Hilton, all of those. Or maybe they try to do both and do both badly, because that's something some companies do. It would take an extreme amount of hubris to do that, but when has a travel company ever not had hubris? All right, so we got that covered. And the last bit of speculation station that we had, Bilt recently launched a sort of members only portion of their website called Close Friends, and I think part of what they sell on Close Friends is you'll get to learn what's coming up with Bilt. You're going to learn like exclusive bits on Bilt 2.0 and things that are coming with Bilt soon and all of that. I put in an application for Bilt Close Friends. They probably saw mine, and mine is still being considered. They probably saw who it was. They went, fuck that guy. We know what he said on the internet. We know what he says about us on his YouTube channel. And I even put in like, I have a YouTube channel. I just want to learn more about Bilt, blah, blah, blah. Probably not the best thing to put on my application, but I'd rather not lie. But this is coming from the Bilt Rewards community. This coming from user commercial talk 5806. I can't talk tonight, apparently. So they put, I don't know if this is already posted about, but I watched one of the videos that was just posted to the new Bilt Close Friends portion of the app. They hinted at more than two new transfer partners that will be added before the end of the year. Also implied that a few of these transfer partners are brand new amongst any card provider. Do you guys have any guesses? They also implied that they have a creative way to get access to airport amenities. I'm assuming that they're talking about lounges or something equivalent where you don't have to wait in line. Not sure how that's possible, but found it interesting. I'm sure it relates to their new premium card. Lastly, they mentioned that they're wanting to add short-term rentals to the Bilt app. So we'll stop sharing because I didn't want to dive too deep into the comments there. JC joining us. Thank you so much, sir. Hi, Matt. Hey, everyone. What to make of this? They say more than two transfer partners. We will have to see what that looks like. If Bilt were to bring in some smaller airlines, that would certainly be interesting. JetBlue, they've already got Southwest. Adding JetBlue makes a lot of sense. If they could bring in a Spirit or whatever's left of Spirit, that could be interesting. Interesting, Shane. Never heard back from the first Close Friends applications. Applied a second time at the end of September with far less involved answers and was approved the next day. Okay. Might do that. As I was saying, like more transfer partners, the smaller airlines would make a lot of sense here domestically. So I'm talking like Allegiant. I'm talking Sun Country. Sun Country just put out a new credit card. I'm talking Frontier. Frontier makes a lot of sense. Frontier is the one that's like actually making moves to improve their business before everything goes belly up. But we'll see. You could also see them take on stuff like Iceland Air. You could see them take on some international low-cost carriers. Like, I don't know if Wizz has a transfer program, but if they do, they could do something with Wizz or EasyJet or, oh, God help me, Ryanair.
pretty much if they are, if you're a user hostile airline, maybe Bilt wants to talk. I'm curious to see what it looks like. Maybe Lufthansa City Hopper, or is it KLM City Hopper? Whatever. But there are low-cost jets. There are low-cost jet programs. They could also look at JSX if they want to go into the more private sphere. They could look into other more private companies as well. That is certainly a play that could be done. When they say more than two, there's plenty of options. Amtrak would make a lot of sense. I think Brightline recently started a loyalty program. I feel like I did a video about a Brightline loyalty program. If Brightline's doing a loyalty program, Brightline could make a certain amount of sense for, Floridians and those looking to go to Florida and transfer Bilt points there. Do that. So there's certainly opportunity with transfer partners. Amtrak would make a lot of sense. Eurostar could make a lot of sense. Hopefully one of those partners is Zip Air. I heard good things about them. I hear tings. But we will see. It's also going to depend on what the rest of the cards look like as well. But adding more partners, because they were briefly like the largest number of transfer partners, and they have United, Southwest, Hyatt, Hilton, IHG, Accor. You could see them add Shangri-La Circle to try to get folks at that higher end. You could see them add Omni. You could see them add Sonesta. You could see them, and like Sonesta's not like great hotel program, like an amazing hotel program, but they're not transfer currency with any current banks, so that would make a certain amount of sense. But yeah, there's definitely interesting plays there with transfer partners, and transfer partners are kind of the best thing they've got going for them in the program. Well, one of the best things they have going for them in the program, even after losing American Airlines, because they so masterfully added Alaska literally the next day. Like the ink wasn't even dry on the press release, like losing American, before they said, "Hey, we got Alaska. It's good." They also implied that they could have a creative way to access to airport amenities. I'm assuming they're talking about lounges or something equivalent, where you don't have to wait in line. Not sure how that's possible, but found it interesting. I'm sure it relates to their new premium card. If they have a relationship, if they can have a relationship with something like Clear for lounges, that could be interesting. I don't know how you're going to cut in line. Like, are we talking about Priority Pass lounges? Are we talking about Priority Pass experiences? Are we talking about Priority Pass restaurants? Or it's a lot of Priority Pass. I don't know about Lounge Key. I don't know. Like, Lounge Buddy is dead. I'm curious to see what they can do to get you in front of the lines. Like, I'm going to say this right now. If they have something where an agreement with the club where they could bypass Sapphire Reserve holders to get into Sapphire Reserve lounges first, there will be a riot amongst Chase card holders. That would be a pain in the ass for Chase. But I don't know. I don't think they are going to go that far. I'm curious to see what they do. Happy Tom says something sounds like grab and go access. Yup. Daddy Vroom, if I have faith in anything with Bilt, it's landing great transfer partners. Yup. Shabby Old Cloak, is it wrong for me to want to cancel the Bilt card just because I don't want to deal with cardless? I wouldn't say it's wrong. I can certainly understand that sentiment. The card is set to launch with cardless and transition over to cardless by February. I would say, I just speaking here, knowing that they're going to add 2 more cards, knowing that they're going to, make that promise a seamless transition. We know it's not going to be. I would say at least hear them out and then nope out if it's not worth it for you. So we'll see. JC, never had a Bilt card, but as a fan of the main Chase transfer partners, the premium Bilt card could be a good CSR alternative. Could be. I don't know what we're going to... I don't know that we're going to see that necessarily, but it's certainly possible. I have thoughts. I'm going to put them together at some point, but I have thoughts. Airbnb could do a Breeze Points 1 cent per point model where it is basically just a small rebate, but probably not going to excite anyone here. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know that they want to do that that they want to do that necessarily, but it's not the worst thing. At least it'd be 1 cent per point, because a lot of the hotels end up averaging out to less than a penny per point. So if they can lock in a penny per point, there'd be folks who could argue some value, and then folks who would equivocate the other way and argue no value. So we'll see. Background balloon, it'll be a cold day in hell if Bilt somehow manages to allow its members to jump the line for Sapphire lounges. It's fair. Ritz cardholders get treated better at Sapphire lounges than actual CSRs holders. That's something. I've heard recently that's been changing. That Ritz cardholders, they're still getting in, but they're being put in line, whereas Sapphire Reserve holders get waved right through. So I don't know. The third part on this was, lastly, they mentioned that they're wanting to add short-term rentals to the Bilt app. They could probably do that at any time. Like, I'm sure they've got the network. They can have a network established to do that. And they could be working with Airbnb. They could be working with Vrbo. They could be working with any other short-term rental company, because I'm sure there's plenty. Come to think of it, like, that would make a lot of sense with houses that are for sale. Maybe. So if they're going to add that into the Bilt travel program, that makes a definite amount of sense. If they add that to home away from home, that would make a certain amount of sense. Like, that would make a ton of sense with home away from home. So Bilt Gold and Platinum members who have like short-term rentals as an option, I will see. They're also partnered with Hyatt and Marriott and Hilton, and all of them. No, Hilton doesn't have a short-term rental offer, but Marriott Homes and Villas and Hyatt Homes and Hideaways are short-term rental type programs. So maybe they could deepen their partnerships with Marriott and Hyatt. That would make a certain amount of sense. Keith, maybe TSA PreCheck, Clear, or one of the airline alliance's priority security clearances. That would make a certain amount of sense as well. TSA PreCheck is probably almost certainly coming. Them adding Clear as a partner would sort of be a shot across the bow at American Express, because American Express cards are the only ones that get that Clear credit. So if the $4.95 card has a Clear credit, could be something. And if they did that Clear plus concierge, that Clear concierge nonsense that Clear is doing, so you get the Clear plus and you get Clear concierge to get like fast tracked inside of, that might actually be the play. So more real-time research from your internet guy. So reject all non-essential cookies. And apologies for my screen here, but so Clear Concierge, Clear Perks, Clear Concierge. Get through even faster every time. Clear Concierge whisks you through the airport. Book your premium service for your direct path through the Clear Plus line, exclusive for Clear Plus members. Choose between our services so that you get Clear Express for $99. That is expedite your Clear Plus experience, help you with check-in and bag check. I'm going to assume that they're going to give you gate service in addition. So you're going to get Clear Plus and you're going to get gate service. Now you're talking about a $380 something offer, $388. Our ambassador will meet you when you arrive, bring you through the Clear Plus lane, and guide you to your gate. Expedite your Clear Plus experience, help you with check-in and bag check, assist you with carry-ons, post security, guide you to your gate or lounge. This, I think, is how they're going to. This, I think, is what they're adding. With that added, so Clear Plus, and they're going to include gate service. as part of their I think that is the thing that they're hinting at, which I wouldn't pay. Like, if I was a Clear Plus member, I don't know how much I want to pay that $149. But if Bilt is picking up the tab, this could be of interest. Hear from our members. I don't care about Clear. Now, what I want to know is, does the Clear Plus does the full service, is this $179 a year, or is this $179 every time you go to the airport? Because I would imagine if it's every time you go to the airport, you're going to get like 5 of these. And like both, I got to double check this. Choose your departure airport. I don't know. Let's say MSP. Cool. Continue. Oh, I got to log in. I'm not logging in because I don't have Clear. So, all right, we'll see. Interesting. I would take Bilt points as payment for short-term rental. Maybe I misunderstood. Is direct home rental through the Bilt app? It would be direct home rental through the Bilt app. So what it reads again is, lastly, they mentioned that they're wanting to add short-term rentals to the Bilt app. So they want to add short-term rentals. I'm assuming this is through Bilt Travel, and you could pay for your short-term rental booking with Bilt points, hopefully at 1.25. You could book through with Bilt points. You can pay straight up and earn more Bilt points, but I don't know how the short-term rental person is compensated. I guess they could be Bilt points. They could pay you in Bilt points because Bilt could be sort of cool like that. I don't know. Like, I need to hear more. I need to understand more. And I'm sure they're going to, when they launch it, like, they will kind of give an idea. But if you wanted to put your house up as a short-term rental, or rooms in your house as a short-term rental, you should be able to get paid in Bilt points if you want to. That doesn't feel like much of a holdup. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. James Ragland joined us. Thank you so much. James, also a channel member. Clear gate service would be perfect for someone with disability or the elderly. Yes, this is definitely a potential value add. If you, this is definitely a potential value add if you are someone with a disability or or elderly, or you have elderly parents and you want to just like push them through as quickly as possible, get them to their gate. This could shorten the amount of time that you need to take, because, you know, Clear's got your information. If you're doing Clear to TSA to pass gate, that could significantly cut down on the amount of time that you need, which could be a thing. So we shall see. But I think adding gate service, and I don't know if gate service, if you're adding gate service for another $180 a year, or if you're paying $180 every time you use gate service. That is the major distinction. I don't know. So yeah, it's weird. But it would be great. It would be perfect for someone with a disability or the elderly. But they do have that concierge service that I was reminded about, you know, when Keith mentioned Clear. Clear does have that. That could be a way, and like Clear could arrange something with the lounge in question to just like let you bypass that and get into the lounge quicker. Be hilarious if it was Centurion lounges. But maybe it is grab and go. Maybe it is just, you know, some sort of fast pass somewhere. Kevin Yin, in San Francisco, the difference between Hawaii and Asia is closer than LAX. That, thinking of the geography of California, that makes a certain amount of sense, because I think the coast juts out a number of miles from LAX. Like, if you did LAX as a straight line north, there's plenty of mileage to get to San Francisco. So yeah, it would physically be closer. Bilt Bilt plays semantics with their sales and marketing copy. They want everyone to speculate, waiting for the disappointing details when they launch it. That's completely fair. Like, they do not deserve benefit of the doubt. They absolutely don't. In any way, shape, or form. Daddy Vroom, getting paid with Bilt points sounds like a tax or accounting nightmare. Yeah. But I think that if you, especially with the fact that it has there's different cash values assigned to the value of a Bilt point. Because if you do it for a statement credit, it's 0.6. If you do it for if you do it for a statement credit, it's 0.5. If you do it for a statement credit on rent, it's 0.55. If you do it for down payment on a house, it's I want to say it's 1.5. Their travel portal, it's 1.25, and transferring out to transfer partners is anywhere from 0.5 with Hilton or like 1.7 with one of their transfer partners. Alaska? No, Alaska's like 1.4. But anyway, you go from 0.5. You have any number of values from 1.4, from 0.5 all the way up to 1.5 at least. So, yeah, that might be a bit of a tax nightmare. Platinum card credits are easier to use than CSR credits in the beginning or refresh. Hard disagree. The thing with credits, I'm going to say, is that you have to figure out the credits that you're going to use and the credits that you're going to get value from jump. If you're not going to use a monthly credit from Chase, don't count the full credit. Just don't. If you're not going to use a monthly credit from American Express, don't count that as a full credit. I think the only reason why FHR is getting hyped as hard as FHR is getting hyped is they kept it one night and they paid so much money to the hotels to keep FHR, one night. The clear credits one shot. The FHR credits is now 2 shots. The airline incidental is 1 shot. So yes, you can do pretty well there. If you used full value on those 3 credits alone, that's $1,000. That's before the dining credit. That's before anything else they added. The $200 Aura credit is what it is. You use it or don't. The CSR credits, $300 travel credit, nice and easy. $250 with Apple, nice and easy. That's $550. That's the old annual fee right there. The StubHub credit you should be able to get full value out of, but even if you don't, that is between $700 and $900 or $700 and $850. And those are the all or nothing type credits. Well, the StubHub is $150 half a year, so that every half year, that's annoying. The $120 Dash Pass membership is fine. And then you got the $500 edit credit, which is now broken up. Like, you can use any time of the year. You still have to book 4 nights. So we'll see. However, the Chase Dining credit is pure trash, whereas the Resi credit will work. Daddy Vroom, LA is east of Reno. Oh, well, LA also extends like 35 miles from end to end. So, yeah. LA is weird. Rob Rule joins us. Thank you so much, sir. I hoped when Chase took the Flex offline that maybe they were reconfiguring it to not have so much overlap with the rest of the trifecta, maybe remove rotating categories, dining, and add groceries and entertainment. I would have vastly preferred any change to the Flex than not getting anything not really getting much of anything at all. I don't know if there's like a disagreement between Chase and MasterCard on the back end, and Chase pulled the Flex for a month as like some sort of leverage. I don't know what the story there was. I would prefer they raise the limit. Like, what I would do with the Flex, it's not a card I really like, but what I would do is raise the quarterly limit from $1,500 to $2,500 and another $1,000 per quarter. You're going to keep it quarterly. The rotation is going to be the rotation. It's annoying. I would prefer you be able to select your categories, but I know that Chase is more likely to be the ones who dictate what the categories are. It's lame. It's annoying. It is what it is. It's intentional breakage so that Chase can, like, if Chase selects categories that you're not going to activate for a quarter, they at least can recoup the on the losses that the folks who are going to maximize are going to give them. So that's the accounting game that they play with the rotating categories. Is what it is. It's part of the deal. I don't love it, but whatever. Raise it another $1,000. Raise it to another $1,000, so $2,500 a year, $2,500 a quarter. Then I would swap out, if you're going to keep dining in drugstores on the Freedom Unlimited, the compelling reason then to get the Flex in addition to the Unlimited and to add it to a Sapphire card would be 3x groceries and 3x gas. A Sapphire could cover the rest of your travel expenses. They want you to use the Chase portal as often as possible. Anything like that, and then a flat 1x, and then the Freedom Flex staying 1.5, where it's 1.5 unlimited, 1.5 whatever, 3 times dining, 3 times drugstores, which is a nice little niche category. I like that. Drugstores could become discount stores. I don't know, whatever. 5x in the portal with the Freedom Unlimited. And then the Freedom Flex is 5x rotating categories up to $2,500 spend per quarter. But we don't get to dictate what the categories are for ourselves, which is stupid. But I get it. 3x gas, 3x grocery, 1x everything else. Now you've got reasons for people to get both cards to complement each other, and then to add a Sapphire card to transfer those points out. That would make a world of sense. And I don't know why they don't do it. But yeah, when they took the Flex offline for a month, I thought that they were going to reconfigure the card as well. I was hoping they would reconfigure the card, but they didn't. Background balloon at Keith. Bilt should add political campaign services to their business model, given their communication style. Maybe they would finally stop bleeding money or other partners' money. No, they would still bleed money. Campaign consulting firms spend a lot of money to convince you to sign up with their campaign, with their firm. And when those campaigns lose, you lose customers. You lose future customers. So, like, part of why political consulting, like, the same groups keep getting tied up with certain parties' campaigns, and you see the same thing from one party's campaigns over and over and over and over again, is that they go to the same consultants all the time because they're not willing to go to consultants who you might lose. And those big firms will lose races, will lose lots of races, but they don't take reputational harm because the smaller firms take the reputational harm. And then if the smaller firm goes out of business, those folks get hired by the bigger firms. It's really annoying. I got beef with Democratic consulting firms. Oh, shit. I said that out loud. Oops. Background balloon at Kevin. To be honest, the only arguable reason why the Platts credits are technically easier to use is because other companies shot themselves in the foot. Yep, I already said that. Sleepy Rod, does Chase pay more money to make the edit credit not be biannual? They might. I think they're going to be taking a bit of a loss on this one, making that change. But I do think that them keeping the 2-night minimum. Actually, I think they're losing more money on the new 250 credit that they're introducing on January 1st than they're going to be losing on the edit credit becoming not biannual, because they're still bound by the 2-night configuration. Like, they could have spent a ton of money and been out a ton of money to bribe the hotels the same way, or not bribe, but influence the hotels the same way that they were influenced not to force FHR to be 2 nights. They could have made hotels whole on that one and lifted the 2-night and kept it biannual. But I don't think they're out as much money as you'd think, because they kept the 2 nights to lift it from biannual from semi-annual to whenever, because they're still, like, the hotel is still getting 2 nights of patronage from you for $250, and Chase is still able to present it So I don't know that they're losing as much money as one would think. But that's fair. That's a fair question. So yeah, now I got to find a way into close friends because I want to see the next couple of videos about what's going on. Didn't go through the comments on that one from Wikipedia just because there were a bunch of people who were like throwing out like Amtrak, and there was a list of like from ChatGPT seems to suggest these have never had credit card transferability. I struck out the low costs, but hey, maybe since the CSR went with Southwest, you're going to get a low cost too. I think low cost would be interesting. But we will see. So we got that. We did the Airbnb might launch a loyalty program. So yeah, those are the three big things that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. First and foremost was the new Disney card that appears to be in the oven for final, rise. Not final rise, sorry. In the oven for finishing touches. It's probably it's under the broiler. There we go. It's getting that last little whatever. That was found on US card forums, so that card could launch imminently. $149 annual fee, 10% Disney dollars, Disney reward dollars on streaming services, 3% Disney reward dollars on gas and select Disney locations, 10% off at Disney World and Disneyland resorts, and 2% membership Disney reward dollars on dining and restaurants and grocery, 1% on everything else, and the same 0% 6-month APR. So that card is coming. There was an actual application page. You could follow US card forms to get to that page if you so choose. And then we also covered Airbnb launching its own loyalty program or potentially a membership program. I think a membership is probably the smarter way to go for them, but maybe they do loyalty points as well. And then they could become transfer partners, or like Wells Fargo could add Airbnb and Hotel Tonight as a transfer partner. Wells just needs more transfer partners. I don't really care from where. It would make sense for them to add like reward networks, different types of reward networks, like, I don't know, Rove or Mesa, or if they can salvage the relationship, Bilt, make those transfer partners. But we'll see. And then we talked about Bilt's close friends just being a sieve for information. The folks saw the video and immediately went to Reddit, which I find hilarious, but we'll keep an eye on that because looks like Bilt has some plans and more transfer partners seem to be coming. Some sort of expedited whatever at the airports is coming, and then they're also looking to add it appears they're looking to add short-term rentals to their app. So yeah, well, we've been here just over an hour. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything else we want to talk about on this fine Saturday night? It is 7:30 in the evening, so anything and everything will be open. The floor is open. So how is your Rove journey coming along, or is that will that be a separate video? My first booking on Rove went really well. I booked a Hilton property, paid for it on Rove. It was a non-refundable property, included breakfast, was a Homewood Suites. I went, checked in. When they asked for an incidental card, I gave them my Hilton card. They said, "Oh, you're a Hilton member." They attached my number. They then attached my number to the reservation, so I got my bottles of water. I only have Hilton Silver, so whatever. But from there, any purchases that I made, they're like, "You're not going to get the night, but anything here, like everything else, your benefits will be included." So while I didn't get any night credit for it, which I wasn't expecting. And it's Hilton. I can buy status whenever I want. Like Hilton's super flexible that way to me. If I want diamond status, I'm gonna go pay $550. If I want gold status, I'll pay $150 or $195. So that was good. My purchasing opportunities for points through their shopping portal have been so far misses. I've made 2 attempts. One was a pair of glasses, not these pair of glasses. The other was my Citizen M membership. I bought my Citizen M at $120 because the fee is going up at the end of this month to $170. But Marriott has added Marriott Gold status to my Citizen M. So I am going to pay for my Citizen M membership as my means of getting gold status. And if I stay at a Citizen M hotel or I use a Citizen M hotel for co-working, I will get my benefits that I'll get the benefits of my Citizen M Plus there. And if I book a Marriott, I will have gold status at minimum. So it is a way for me to carry gold status without getting another Marriott credit card, because none of the credit cards are particularly compelling at the moment, and I don't want to get the Brilliant. I don't have to go get the American Express Platinum card as a means to justify getting Marriott Gold. I don't have to stay the nights at Marriott to get Marriott Gold. I like the points earning on Marriott Gold. I like the discounts. I like the 2 p.m. late checkout. I don't want to get a card to get those benefits. I don't also have to, play round robin with another credit card for a status that should have been included on the CSR refresh. So points buying opportunities have been a little bit of a miss. I have been adding more points through referrals and folks making purchases. So their referral program, they'll get 500 points. You get 500 points. You'll get 10% of their of whatever points they make on purchases through shopping or bookings or anything like that. I've gained about 2,000 points that way. So it's pretty easy to rack up points with Rove. I just wish I could get more. I've been meaning to do another booking. I've been trying to book another hotel through Rove. I'll probably book a Marriott, just because I know that I have my membership at Marriott now. I don't care about nights at Marriott. I just want my status reflected. But I also have to spend at least 4 more nights at Hyatt's this year to extend Discover status before that runs out. So I'll probably book another Rove hotel soon. Their airline booking capabilities are a little because I've been searching flights out of JFK through whatever. The points earning is good, but I'm not finding the flights I want to take, so I haven't been using them for flights. But overall, I still like the product a lot. Like, I do like Rove. I want to see Rove continue to get better. I want to see their ability for like your points and stuff to your status to possibly get reflected. But even then, like if I book with Rove points, I'm getting higher Rove redemption, higher like value with the point redemptions with Rove than you would at the hotels themselves. So like, just as an example, all right, we'll jump into Rove for a second. Real quick before I do that, we will get through the comments here. Does the nights even matter with Hilton? No, they don't. Kirby G, always miss these. Excited to start from the beginning. Hopefully you like what you see from the beginning. Daddy Vroom, I wish Rove has a tool to see shopping trips before the merchant gives points like Rakuten, but I am having generally good luck. Points for @Matt. They have a shopping extension. So like they do have Rove shopping. And if you go to a website, like I've got the Rakuten extension and the Rove extension on at the same time. If it's on Rakuten and Rove, it will pop up, it'll pop up the Rakuten in the first place, and then behind it is Rove. Every time I log into, or every time I go to look at my FICO forums, like Rakuten will tell me, hey, you can get this many points for my FICO. And then I close that window and Rove is right there with, hey, you're going to get this set number of points with Rove. I'm like, okay, if I pay for the service, cool, but I'm not going to pay for the service. But they do have a shopping extension on Chrome and Chromium based browsers, because I tried to buy my Citizen M through the Edge browser and the extension loaded just fine. So maybe it works, but I'm going to try booking my next round of purchases, I'm going to use the website on the phone. See if that works out. Speaking of hotel statuses, if you have the platinum card, other than 12x with the card and the spending incentives, is there any other benefit to holding the surpass? If you hold the platinum card, what are the benefits with the surpass? Really, it's just going to be your expedited earnings, because that 12x at Hilton's is 12x for the card, plus your gold status will get you additional points. So really, on the Hilton card, it's more like 30x using the surpass. 30x at Hilton using the surpass. And then the surpass will also save you $50 a quarter on a stay or thing at the restaurant. Like, they do have that $50 credit that the platinum card didn't pick up. So it really depends on how you want to value it. But if you have gold and you don't stay at Hilton, so like the surpass is good if you make Hilton like one of your primary hotel systems. It's not good to hold the hotel card if you just occasionally go there, right? But if you want your times at a Hilton to have elevated status, the platinum can do just as well as a surpass if you don't stay at Hilton's regularly. Keith, I got a PIA VPN using your referral, and it worked for me. Thank you, sir. I think that was one of the sets of points that I picked up along the way. The Rakuten page will tell you shopping trips you've done, so it's easier to track points. Oh, okay, got it. Also, the Rove extension in the website portal, the points earning often varies, inconsistent, which is higher. It's really weird. Okay, that's fair. They do have a lot of kinks to work out. So, real quick, here's my current Rove screen. They are running a 20% transfer bonus with Flying Blue and Finnair. I think the Finnair is running through the end of the year. So that's cool. Other things I like about Rove, you can redeem your miles instantly. So like as soon as they hit, you can just earn and burn them right then and there. So you can download the shopping extensions, search for hotels, search for flights. So hotels, if I want to do in my area next weekend, don't like that. Whatever. Don't pay attention to that. So yeah, if I wanted to do this Holiday Inn at West Point, Fort Montgomery, we're going to stop sharing there. We're going to share this other screen. Dox myself a little bit. Yeah, I picked this one right in my area. Got an 8.2 rating on 197 reviews. That's cool. You can do the breakfast included. $585 a night, which feels stupid for a Holiday Inn Express, but whatever. It's also right near West Point, so maybe there's a game next weekend. I don't know. But you earn 6,500 points a night on a 10x multiplier, or you could spend 44,000 Rove points and guarantee yourself 1.47 cents per mile. Right? This is all. That's at the cheapest. You can do free cancellation before October 7th. You can guarantee yourself 1.32 cents per mile. You can do so your options are 1.47 and 1.32. But compared to what the average cost of a Hilton a Holiday Inn point is, or the average value of a Holiday Inn point with IHG is usually somewhere between 0.5 and 0.7. Guaranteeing 1.3 is sweet. And I'm certain that, once you get to the IHG property, you can pop in your IHG number and have your status at least reflected while on site. They're not going to accept they're not going to give you the night. They're not going to do that, but they might, extend some other options to you. So that can work out. Keith says he knows that Holiday Inn. Yep. And probably a game. Probably. I don't know when the Scarlet Knights are playing next. I don't care. Is it the Scarlet Knights? Yeah. No. Yes. So going back to Rove, right? We can come back to instead of hotels, let's do flights. Right? You can do New York City Metropolitan. Let's go to. Let's go to the Caribbean. right? We want to fly from February 1st to February 28th. We'll do cash. I'm doing New York City, which will give me JFK, EWR, whatever, and see what we can get. Okay, so let's go to Orange instead. So from New York to Aruba, I can get this United flight, 6 a.m. to 1:50. I've got myself a layover LGA to Aruba. Cool. Yeah, I've got one stop in IAD. It's $147 for economy. Okay. Direct booking, so I can pop my IHG number in there and I'm good to go. But I'm also getting no check baggage, no carry-on, none of that. So I'm not going to do that necessarily, right? But you can also do, Spirit. You can do Copa. You're going to get, some stops along the way. American. But it gives you at least like that. Oh, all flights are 5 times points earning. So 164 times 5, that's the number of points you're going to get. You can also redeem your points directly immediately. This is also considered a cash booking with the flight, so you can put in your Avianca number. I can put in my American Airlines number. I can put in my United number. I can put in all of that. I'm going to gain the spend and the flight and all of that towards status with the airline as well. And I can do it with points and I can do it with cash through Rove. So that's cool. And if I didn't want to do cash, I wanted to do miles instead, right? Let's update this. Same thing, flying to Aruba, 11,000 miles with United. That's 1.3 miles cents per mile. You can do, you can't really sort by, can you sort by cheapest, best? Okay. Delta, it's going to cost you 58,500 miles, but you're going to get 1.36 cents per mile, 1.35, 1.35, 1.31, 1.3, but you seem to have a bottom out of 1.3, which is pretty good. Cool. Oh, you can go even further. 28,000 miles plus $47 through JetBlue. What are we doing here, JetBlue? That's painful. So I'll stop sharing there. But it does give you a great set of can you put your frequent flyer number in for their bookings? Yes. And JetBlue to Aruba. Yeah, should be nice. But the fact that it was like 28,000 points plus 7, like I saw like $200 extra. But they are really good about showing you like what your instant value is. So if you're playing highest cent per point for hotels, there really isn't like too much else on basic nights that Rove doesn't beat. Now, higher end hotels would be a different question, and they'll show you everything. But you can use Rove to book non-chain hotels, pick up a good number of Rove points that way, and then book the chain hotels through Rove, or use your Rove points to max out those flights. Now, I only did Aruba, but if you really do scrutinize things with Rove, you can find some pretty good value. So I like it. Journey's going pretty well. I want to keep adding more points. I'm trying to use their extension wherever possible. It's the first extension I'm using just to see like what's there. I will say they do have a lot of like third-party travel options. They're now up to 13,000 shopping providers. So like they're kind of all over the place. 1-800 contacts they've got overnight classes, Wilson family of brands, Dior now, Savory Spice, Shark, Top Resume, MAC Cosmetics, whatever Briso is, whatever. I don't know what that is. A couple other big brands. You can get 0.6 Rove miles per dollar spent on online purchases at Walmart. You can get a floor of at least 3.2 times points per dollar spent on gift cards. And it's 3x right now on Visa gift cards and MasterCard gift cards. Store gift cards are all set at 3.2. You can do Best Buy at 1.1 miles per dollar. Framery Newegg is 1.1 miles, although I don't know if you want to do Newegg. Michael Kors is 2.9. Ninja Products is 2.3. Viagogo and StubHub will stack. So if you're going to use the StubHub credit, if you can get through your Rove connection to work, you can make a StubHub purchase with your Sapphire Reserve at StubHub. Rove will take whatever. You'll get the credit, the $150 credit, and you're going to earn like 4x right now on Viagogo, and assume Rove StubHub is also 4x. So like that's just free points right there. Oni is now there. I saw Hey Dudes is there. Crocs is now there. Dell Homes and Home and Home Office is up to 4x miles. So there you go. Cook Unity is giving you 865 miles. Hungry Root is giving you 855 miles. Bulletproof is 5.7 miles per dollar on like Bulletproof coffee and stuff like that. Tufted Needle, David's Tea, Mount It. So you're getting more and more options, which is cool. Tons of options for travel, which is interesting. Victorinox, 5.7x miles per dollar. So there you go. Visible's giving you 25.95 miles for signing up with Visible. That is a Verizon MVMO. So again, there's options. But yeah, I'm liking Rove. I will probably do a follow-up video on Rove at some point, maybe when I redeem some miles. But I'm currently building up my miles. If you've signed up for a Rove referral from me, try some purchases, try a booking, more miles for me. I say so selfishly, I know, but could definitely be a good option for you. And it's another way of building up miles. The American Airlines portal is probably more advantageous to you if you're like set with American Airlines. Same with the Mileage Plus portals. I get it. Heck, even the Chase portal could be like if you want to prioritize Chase points, the Chase portal I absolutely understand. That's going to raise another question for me, and let me check something here with Chase. But yeah, no, there's definitely ways you can make things work with Rove. So real quick, we're going to pop into my Chase account because I want to see something with Chase. We're going to my Sapphire Reserve. We're going to go to more card benefits, shopping. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, folks. Rewards. I don't want Chase Travel. I don't want Chase Dining. Chase Dining is dying at the end of the month anyway. All benefits. Okay. Anyway, what I was going to do is I was going to look at the Chase shopping portal and see if StubHub is over there, because it would make more sense to do. It would make more sense to do it through the shopping portal if StubHub is there. But Daddy Vroom, I just did 1-800 contacts on Rove. It did take a few days to show up. Cool. Let me double check my Rove just to see if my points ever hit pending. Not those points. Yeah, anything impending? Nothing impending. All right, well, that's fair. So, yeah, Rove's still pretty cool. I hope that they survive at least. Like, if they get to the year mark, I'm sure more people will sign up at that point, but we'll see. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, as always, check out, hit the like and subscribe button. You can also hit the hype button. I don't know if you can hype a live. I don't know if you'd want to hype a live, but if you see the hype button on any of my videos, click the hype button. See if we can keep growing my audience that way. Almost at 2,300 subscribers. I would love to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't know if that's going to happen. Would be a huge boost. Would love to push 3,000 before the middle of next year. Anything and everything would be a huge help. Some similar channels to me have recently hit, are like knocking on the door of 3,000 subscribers, and I think I should be able to get there. I don't know. Not a small ask. Anyway, yeah, thanks so much for everything. Appreciate those who drop super chats. Filma with a $2 super chat. Happy Tom with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much. Everyone who's a channel member, greatly appreciate that. That is a basically a $3 super chat just in and of itself. So thank you so much. But that's going to do it for today. If you like what I do, as always, like and subscribe. You can comment on these videos whenever. If you see the hype button, hit the hype button. And if you want to consider becoming a channel member, you can do so now through the iOS device of your choice. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.